Okay, are we back now? Okay, that should give me something I can download now. Okay, I think I got this figured out now. I'm a freaking genius.
Fuck that noise!
Ugh, it's kind of loud. I'm a freaking genius. Where is that? I need to have that more readily available. There it is.
I'm a fucking genius!
So stream back? I don't see it coming back. Should be live. There it is. We're live now. Refresh. Refresh. I'll type that in chat. There we go. Okay. Let's see, I wonder if I can download that now. Okay. Let's see, I wonder if I can download that now. Okay. Slight echo there. Okay, video producer. That'll mess up my re-upload to the stream archive channel, but oh well. Let's see, that was a 20 minutes I can download that. Okay, now I can toss that into Adobe Premiere, make that a short clip, load that into Refresh, replace it with the DSP voice model. Yeah, we're thinking on our toes. Okay, you know what video I haven't seen is the WPIG with Ski Sonic. That'll be a good video. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Hopefully it's worth rewatching if you have. Let's see. WPIG Ski Sonic. The Didn't See Scrolls. Let's check this out. Well, good thing about this is it doesn't really matter what the visuals are. Let's get past the intro. Here we go.
Stratford, Connecticut, we're here. It's time for another dip into the past. And I am not alone today, by any means. I am joined by a legendary character. A legendary legend, some might say. Someone that was there for all the stories we've been seeing from so long ago. All those tales we've been telling over the past months now. Someone that was there is here in the studio now. And let me introduce that man. He goes by the name of Ski Sonic. How are you feeling, my friend Ski?
Feeling pretty good.
It is legendary to have you with us today. We're really happy that you agreed to it. So thanks so much, man. It means a lot to us over here. To have the voice of someone that was there, rather than just the voice of us reading about the past. Now, you were actually there. So thanks so much, my friend, for your time.
Cool, man. Yeah, I didn't know that people were like looking at these podcasts and this time, but it was a lot of fun and, you know, like really a precursor to a lot of the stuff that we see.
Oh boy, that audio sounds really bad. Hopefully they sort that out later. Let me skip ahead a little bit.
Play whatever fighting game is
there we go.
New.
Cool.
I always like to keep up. You know, I'm all like, I just love fighting games forever. So, you know, playing a little bit of Street Fighter 6, playing a little bit of MK1, and you know, just like trying to stay up with all of the games. There's so much now.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, so much. And I want to get your thoughts on, you know, I went back in your history of obviously the SRK forums. You joined in 2001, if you can believe it, which is obviously a pretty long time ago now. But you joined in 2001. God. What got you into there in the first place? How did you find yourself into
Lonely
as you did?
So I had just been like playing Street Fighter since I was like a little kid, right? You know, like you saw it in the arcade, thought it was the coolest thing. I found some local people when I was like 13 that I had been playing with for a real long time, right?
Yeah.
And then I went to high school and I met like a few people that were also playing, like, you know, we were like trying to be competitive, but we didn't know anything about the greater scene. We had like little local tournaments and stuff. But I tell you, like, I had this one friend, my friend Lupit, and we played all the time. He was like one of my best friends, good gaming friend. You know, like we played games together all the time.
Yeah.
We had a pretty close relationship. So what ends up happening is overnight, the guy gets like ridiculously better. Right, like he's playing Gambit and like Mega Man or whatever in NBC One, and then the next day he's like playing Strider, Red Venom and shit, and he's doing all these infinites. I'm like, what did you do? How did you learn this? Where did this come from? And he says, like, he laughs and says, go to shoryuken.com. And so I thought he was like trolling me because like shoryuken.com just sounds like, oh yeah, go to hadouken.net, which is also a site. But like,
Yeah.
I'm just like, you can't find any information there. And
50
like
likes,
that is
you're gonna
what
get 100.
eventually led me to it.
I don't know
I
why
went to
people
that
come and enjoy
website
it.
kind of like every day for like 6 months, and I was just looking at the front page and things. I didn't know that there were forums.
Yeah.
So really, my join date should be like 6 months earlier, but I literally did not understand that you could go on forums, create an account, and post there. I went on IRC even before I went on the forums. I'm pretty sure I just didn't understand what forums were at that point. But
Yeah.
eventually, between all of those things, I found my way to just like make an account on the forums. I think I was first posting about like Capcom vs. SNK 1 or something.
Okay, cool. So, and also for your geography, because that's important.
Okay, I got the current stream right here. Let's see what I got in terms of audio. Tell me who you think this sounds like. Let's see. I'm gonna record this one. See if I can do some AI wizardry with this. Let me open up Audacity here. Okay. What's with that humming in the background? Yeah, I guess I'll pause the music and then I'll open up my own Twitch stream. Let's see. And then record it off. I guess you haven't been keeping up on the recent G4 news. On September 9th, 2023. So kind of a month ago. But I just now found out about this. Let's see here. Where's that coming from? Get my voice ready. Let me try this in my best. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Anyone who reviews this game as less. All right. I can clip this starting here. Anyone who reviews this game as less than a 4. Skip ahead to the end. In communities. Communities. What is that humming from? I literally don't know. Is it from the microphone or what? Allows you to actually roleplay and game. If someone gave this a 1-star review, they should be automatically blocked from having a public opinion because they clearly have no idea what they're talking about. Okay, I guess I'll let this play again.
Important for some people. You are definitely an East Coaster, right? You're an East Coast fighting game player, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Since I'm Baltimore, Maryland, been East Coast for, pretty much most of my time. I went to college in the Midwest a little bit, and I've like been around a little bit, but always East Coast, Baltimore,
cool.
Maryland.
Okay, cool. I actually grew up about 30 minutes away from there. So anyway, so let's talk about also. So there's some famous places we've covered in this place on the Density Scrolls, like a place like Chinatown. Have you ever been there? Let's say just to get us started here. Have you ever been to a place like Chinatown, which is in New York? Have you ever been there? Can you tell us any stories about Chinatown?
Chinatown, New York. Yeah, actually, so that was one of the places I went to school at as well. I went to NYU for 1 year, so I went to Chinatown Fair every week while I was there.
Oh, sick. Okay.
Thank you, Delorio, for linking me to that video that I've already seen, because as you can see, I even left a comment on the video. Just so you guys know, you don't have to be a subscriber on Twitch in order to see my VODs. I had forgotten that was even a thing. That's why I was so confused, why I was saying that. You can now see previous streams for as long as Twitch will have them up on Twitch, whether you're a subscriber or not. And you can also subscribe to LWO's Stream Archives, which is a YouTube channel that I upload all my streams to. Thank you, Delorio.
Yeah. That was it was dope. Like that's where I got to really be friends with the New York City scene. So at the time, guys like Justin Wong and Flash G, rest in peace. Like Arturo Sanchez, I had already kind of been friends with, but got to be closer then as well. And just like all of the folks that were, the MVC2 people at that time,
Yeah.
I got to have a really good relationship with. So like if you go back to that Evo moment when Daigo parries Justin, right?
The
like,
famous, yeah.
I'm sitting with Flash G at that time. Like normally, you're at Evo, the finals, you're chilling with the people that you're like, that you play with, that you come from, right? So any other year, I'd probably be with the Baltimore people. But that particular year, I had been in New York so much that I was with Flash G, the third strike aficionado. And I'm sitting next to him during the Daigo parry. And he's actually saying, don't do the super. He's actually saying it out loud. Don't do the super. Don't do the super. Don't do the super. And he does the super, and history happened.
Damn. So you were actually at that moment. That's got to. I mean, what was after that happens, right? We know the video and like obviously the pop off and stuff, but like, was that like just the talk of the fucking night? I mean, it has to be the talk of the fucking weekend, right?
Yeah, it's you know how it is with fighting games. There's always somebody that's like ready to diminish your accomplishment. So while a lot of people were like, damn, that was the most incredible thing I've ever seen, that me as well, I was not a third strike player at the time, so I was like, that's ridiculous. But the third strike players were like, that's like...
Okay, and it is done and ready. Let's take a listen to how that sounded. Converted vocals.
Anyone who reviews this game as less than a 4 out of 5 is just straight up lying for an agenda. There are, of course, flaws, but the game is a Bethesda title on crack. If you like Bethesda games, you'll like this. If you don't, maybe this won't be your cup of tea, but to claim it's a bad game, like, give me a fucking break. I don't like Valorant or God of War. Doesn't mean those are bad games. They're just not for me. Gamers are manipulated by fuckwits on social media to sell clips, and being an asshole makes people watch you. The game is beautiful. It allows you to do so much stupid shit. It's a massive RPG that allows you to actually roleplay and game. If someone gave this a 1-star review, they should be automatically blocked from having a public opinion because they clearly have no idea what they're talking about. Enrages me the audacity of gaming communities.
Okay, I'll download that. It's not good enough to upload to my main channel, but it can be a channel for members on YouTube. Because I gotta give my YouTube members something, Everyone else can see it on the archive channel or whatever.
Regular shit, like you're supposed to do that. But I mean, the jump at the end for the full
Calm down,
combo for the
Delorio.
death, that's the icing. And I think like even if you can do the parry, the presence of mind to hit that at that time, it's that's everything. But the way that it was received was really like oddly split. There's everybody that wasn't really a hardcore third strike player was like, this is ridiculous. But the hardcore third strike players are just like, man, we could do that.
Yeah, haters. Obviously, yeah, they are a thing. I want to ask you about. I've always seen. We've covered a lot of SRK threads, and they start with there's like a tournament announcement post, and then they kind of go down the line of like, who's gonna come, what are the fucking the games you're gonna play and all that kind of stuff.
I'll give you a point refund.
Back then,
You get your points back.
Was it normal to start a tournament yourself, or was it kind of a certain set of people that were like, okay, we are the tournament organizers, or was it kind of anyone can do it and it was a small kind of thing? Because it's hard for me to tell as we go back, like, well, are these tournaments big deals, or were they all kind of, they're smaller ones or bigger ones, they're all different sizes, like back then,
So yeah, you could, it wasn't really uncommon to just throw your own tournament. You could do that, just throw it up on the forums.
Yeah.
And like there was not really another place to go to for the tournament announcement. So anybody that was interested in a tournament is probably going to see it if you put it in the right spot. It was Shuriken or, maybe Tekken's Zaibatsu. You would cross post it if you're having Tekken or whatever.
Yeah.
But that was like a fine place to do it. You just may or may not have people come. If they know who you are, they're more likely to come. If you
I see there's some I'm missing here. Like someone wanted a sound command for DSP saying he's a cute guy. I don't even remember where that is, where I can find that. I did add just be racist, so I'll mark that as complete. You got that one, Delorio. So don't worry about that. We got money, please. Damn, I didn't add this one. Kin saying, sit down and shut up. I didn't add that one. There are a lot of here I can add, huh? How's it going, Ecdysis? I don't know how to pronounce that.
Have that people are going to be coming. They're more likely to come. If you have like a prize pool or whatever, some prizes, something like that, then they're more likely to come. But you just kind of look at the tournament thread, like that was one of the regulars, so you kind of get acquainted with it.
Okay. I guess one other thing I gotta ask is, how did you kind of make the jump to being commentator? Because you are one of the first fucking commentators that ever did it, and at least definitely one of the first people that was kind of known as being commentator. So what made you try to make that jump from being player to maybe I better serve to be a commentator?
I just wanted to do it so bad. Like, since the first time I went to Evo, I was like, damn, I want to be on that mic. You know, and part of it is always like, you think you could do it better. Like, shout outs to Trag. I don't want to be like,
Yeah.
oh, you know, I was looking at him and thinking he was bad or anything like that. But it's just like the fire in me was like, yo, like, I think I could contribute to this. I think I could do something here. I really want to do this. So just really watching pro wrestling as a kid. And having like my favorite commentators from there, you know, I was always about Mike Tenay, the professor. I was like, damn, like I want to be like the professor of this. But the way that I finally got an opportunity, there was two things that happened. First was, I think, during like a CVS 2 Top 8, this guy Magistros, the guy that's did the old what is it, the SonicHurricane.net, the old footsies guides and all of that stuff, right? He had the microphone for CVS 2, but he's kind of soft spoken, and he just handed it to me, and I took it. And that was also the first year that my voice was real raspy from just like screaming at people, which happened a lot for the next few years. But I was like, I'm not going to turn down this. Give me that, right? And like that was the first time.
Yeah.
And I think next year they let Keats be the person that was the like coordinator for those types of things. And he and I had already like had a relationship, I think, from the podcast by that time, and also I had done it, and I had been somebody that was podcasting and talking about games, so I was kind of like a natural person to slot in for those first few, because I was like already in the space and had sort of proven myself, as well as doing the Alphaism, the radio broadcast stuff. I'm pretty sure I was doing that before the Evo stuff started.
Okay.
So I was just like, it was just something that I wanted to do, and I was gonna try to find a way to do it, and I happened to fall into them.
That's awesome, and I got to talk about Alphaism here, because Alphaism is a fucking incredible look into really just a passion of fucking people. And I think it's so cool. And obviously there's some raw parts that probably now, if you go back, it's probably a bit cringe for you. But
oh god, yeah.
But I mean, the passion is there, and Bunke is an incredible fucking host, man. Like he just is he's unwaverable, right? But he's just like gets us back on track. How did Alphaism start? Did you kind of join that later, or were you part of the start of the the genesis of it? How did Alphaism come to be?
I joined that later. Bunke just started doing it, right? Just like he was just a guy that loved Street Fighter, and his contribution was going to be like, I want to do this podcast, and he just was kind of doing it for like a few weeks. And I think that we knew each other from like the IRC and from the chat room, and I think he just contacted me and asked me if I wanted to co-host. I was like, hell yeah, like, that sounds awesome. And I think he also knew that I would be somebody that could kind of like bridge the gap in terms of like the top players, right? Like, he wouldn't necessarily have excelled at interviewing like Valle or whatever, right? Like he brings something, but like he didn't have that like in-depth knowledge like I did, so it was kind of like a counterbalance to him. But like you said, he is very, very good host, and just the driving force. You need somebody that's gonna actually push y'all to do it and make it happen, right? And for Alphaism, I was more of like just like a talent, right? Like I didn't do a lot of the organizational stuff, at least not at first. I think a little later on, I got a little bit more into it.
Yeah. It was just, it's so, and I want to know, like, was it, I'm not saying it was like some fucking huge thing. Like, I'm sure there wasn't thousands of people, but was it like, did you have it on YouTube? Like, how could people even listen to it live back then? when it was coming out?
Oh my God, how could
Like,
so?
you know, like what was how did you even go about, like, I want to listen to this show live. What was the avenue at that point? Because there's not like
It
YouTube
was-
Live, you know?
Nah, it was Shoutcast. So like
There we go.
that's the old protocol for. I think you could do it on TV. I think you could do a video as well. Like that's one of the oldest ways that people streamed their games.
Yeah.
Shoutcast TV, I believe, or whatever. And
Okay.
we were just doing like an audio version of it. So it was like a Winamp plugin that you would
Damn.
use. And then I think if you wanted to listen, you also had to load it in Winamp or something like that, or maybe you could use a different player or something. But it was like that. It was something that you had to use another program and like dig into. And I think that it might have been like it was like that for a long time. I don't know if we ever did a transition off of that while I was there.
Yeah.
But that was what it was.
Damn. So like it wasn't like a huge, like, it couldn't have been hundreds of people listening at the time, right? Like, how many, was it a smallish thing, or did it kind of everyone know, like, okay, there's a show tonight and I listen or I won't? But how did it work then?
Yeah. It wasn't. It probably, if we would get up to a couple of hundred people, then it would have been like during Evo specifically, right? And that
Okay.
was when people were coming in to the chat rooms, and there was no other like live. It was only text otherwise, right?
Yeah,
So
okay.
I would call in, and you would call in and do this through Skype. You would have a guest in, so I would call Ben and be trying to do like live commentary, and it worked really well sometimes, but also the quality was it was imperceptible for a lot of us. So sometimes it wasn't great quality, but you know, people liked it because that was really all we had at the time. So it was your best live look in for a little while before things started to take off in the streaming world.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at those SRK forums, like, people are so fucking hungry for that news from Evo. Like, all right, this dude, this dude, like, it was like, it's fucking a real big deal back then for people, like, who beat who, and oh shit, you know, Justin Wong lost his round 4 or whatever matchup. It was a big fucking deal. And I mean, it's pretty cool how cool. I mean, that's what I've learned. Like, we didn't start this show to kind of be this FGC like history show, but like we became it because it's like there's so much stuff here that's interesting, and like the passion is there from so fucking long ago. It's really cool to see, and obviously you're a big part of that. And how you kept in that Alphism Radio. There's so much stuff back then. It just like people were doing what they fucking loved. It wasn't even about money at all. It was just people doing what they fucking wanted to do, and everyone's losing money, really. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause, like, you
there's
gotta get
not
to
a dollar.
tournaments.
There's not a dollar to be gained.
Yeah, you know, and like it's just crazy. It's really cool. It's really fucking cool. There's obviously, we're gonna go through a lot of stuff, and I got some stuff queued up here to play with you to get your thoughts on. People will riot if I don't play a little bit of this one Alphism show. It was Ski Sonic. Obviously, that is the gentleman with us tonight. We have Rai Shin Ken. Am I saying that correctly, Rai Shin Ken? If I said that name, will you recognize that, Rai Shin Ken?
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay, we have NFC Jesse, we have Angela,
Oh, yeah.
we have
Yeah.
Smooth Cat, Skeletor G, and Keizo, and of course Bunkcase here as well. And this is a favor. I don't have to play the whole fucking thing, of course. It's 6 hours long, but I just want to get your take on this story here because this is where a little piece of lore we have on the show that's called The Snitchinator was born.
Okay.
So I want to play this little clip it's about a minute or so. Bunky's going to kind of set the stage about what you're talking about this show, and I want to get your take on this. So you should be able to hear this. Please let me know if you can. I'm going to play it right now.
You know what? That's
I hear it.
what bothers
Bunky right
me
here.
because you know what? One of the things that I've noticed since I known you, and which is really since only Alphism Radio. I mean, I never really talked to
He's
you.
talking about
very much
DSP right
before
now.
Then. The one thing about you that stands out the most, if you ask me, what's the one thing about DXP that you say that you just have a hard time dealing with, is that you never like to admit when you're in the wrong. I have so many instances where you were actually in the wrong for something, and believe me, it was like pulling teeth.
Did I not admit that I was wrong?
Okay, so I'll stop right there. When you hear that, what do you think to that phrase about the thoughts of DSP at this time in 2007, by the way? Was this, what did you, let's just start with that. What were your thoughts on DSP in 2007? He was on the fucking show a whole hell of a lot, I'll tell you that, but.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, he was more acceptable then than he is now.
Yeah.
But I would say, like, you know, because back then, he was another competitor that just kind of, like, rubbed people the wrong way for whatever reasons.
Yes.
Like intentionally so. You know, the thing that sticks out is he made tophaters.com, right? I don't
Yeah.
know if you guys have seen that or aware of that, right?
Please, there's not much
Yeah.
you can slip past us. Yeah, we know that.
So, are you aware that there was also a site called topplayers.com, and
Yes.
like his site was a knockoff of that? It was just basically a middle finger to Top Players, right?
yes, absolutely.
Which is nonsense, but
80 likes,
he thought
everyone.
it was cool
20
or
more to hit
whatever.
100, that's
Other
the
than
goal for the
that,
night.
Oh, he wasn't like an especially skilled player.
Uh-huh.
He was like another dude from CT that like. I think around this time, you know, he's started to be more in IRC and just more annoying, and he was like a sort of a contrarian that, like Ben was saying, like can't admit he's wrong, and that's still to this day one of my pet peeves. Just take the L. That's how I feel.
for sure. But he was on SRK. He was on that show a lot, and I always
Don't need to
theorized.
take
Was
the
this because
Excuse
it
me.
gives you the content to talk about, or was it because
Oh, jeez. Don't need to take the L when you don't have anyone around you to challenge you on anything. Just have no friends, and that way you won't ever have to take the L.
Bunkay's a nice guy that can't say no?
Just
Like,
ban
what would you
everybody.
say to that? Because he's on that fucking show more than anybody.
I think it's probably both, just
Okay.
because like it wasn't really. There's like you didn't really have a problem talking to him, and you know it's really the scene is still very small at that time,
Yeah.
very insular, so it's still just like another one of the homies. But you know how there's always like a homie that you don't really like. That's not really, you know, that's like somebody in the crew that people are just like, you know, it was like that, you know. And having him on the show, I doubt that was my decision when he was, but like, you know, around that time it would have been like collaborative.
Okay.
But you know, him coming on the show, it would always give us something to talk about, you know, or something
That's
to
for
talk
fucking
to.
sure.
So,
Yeah, that's for
so
fucking
you know,
sure.
wasn't a big deal.
I got to play this clip because I need you to ID the person that said this iconic line that we'll never forget here on this show. Here, who said this
You
following?
said TJ sucks,
Not this
nigga.
one.
I'm telling on your ass, motherfucker. And I don't even got no alcohol, nigga. What you gonna do?
Right here, coming up.
What you
It's a
gonna
classic.
do?
Oh,
The Snitchinator.
I mean,
Right here.
but
Operated
you know
by
what?
Jack
Really,
Daniels.
people-
Who said Stitchinator operated by Jack Daniels? We need to know.
List the names of people because I think it was it must have been like Raishin. List the
Raishin
names
Ken,
again.
here,
Yes.
Raishin Ken, NFC Jesse, Angela. We know it's not Angela. Smooth Cat, Skeletor G, and Keizo. That was the choices, and also you, of course, but that's not you. So I'll play
Spell Keizo?
KZ08. Sorry, 0. KZOH. Yes.
I think it was Raishin Ken, but
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure.
So I would like to know though. This is done to test your memory. If you don't remember, well, it's totally cool. But what was you guys in this episode make fun of DSP a lot about his dealings with women? Do you remember any thoughts about? Remember anything about his dealings with women or how he was with that? Because you guys ragged on him endlessly about that in this episode. It's
I
incredible.
feel like he said something or did something
Would be
awkward
great,
with like a
guys. Our
fighting game
goals,
community
100
woman or
likes on the
something.
stream. We're at
Yes.
Uh,
If I said some names, the name Faye, would you recognize that name? Faye?
Of course.
Oh, okay, cool. Faye is a hero around these parts, a queen. So what can you tell us about Faye, Ski Sonic?
I mean, Faye was really nice. She was a great friend of mine for a little while there. She was a New York City person, right?
Yes.
So Chinatown Fair, I hung out around there a little bit. She would come on IRC, and she was like a person that was very like familiar with forums and stuff like that. So her hanging out in the IRC she fit in very naturally.
Okay.
We even dated a while. Like I can say that. Like,
Ski
this is 20 years
Sonic
ago.
in the house. Ski Sonic, you just became a king to our queen. There we go. What a
I
legend.
did not. I didn't know if people knew that, but I mean, I didn't know if like you were subtly asking me that.
No. Please,
Yeah.
but that's high. That's very high.
It was really So it was great. Like we dated for summer. That was cool. Things
Very
ended.
hype.
That was cool. So yeah, like we used to talk a lot, spend a lot of time together, and she was just a fucking down ass fighting game girl. Really,
Okay.
is like the best thing I could say about her.
Awesome. The next thing that's person I have to ask about is someone named Taco Chan, and she was a West Coaster
Yeah.
that had some dealings with DSP. Do you remember anything about that? We did actually talk to Taco Chan on this show, actually.
Oh really? Jeanette, right?
Yes, Jeanette. No
Yeah,
docs, but yes, Jeanette.
She she was basically like the attractive girl of the community at the time.
Okay, very nice.
So like, he probably did some weird crushing on her, but I think if you were to ask him, he would probably say like, no, that was just projected on
Thank
me
you
or
all very
something,
much
and
for
that
the
might be
engagement
fair. I
today.
can't remember
I
exactly
appreciate
what happened, but it's one of those types of things where if you say the wrong thing to a pretty girl, people are gonna jump on you anyway. They'll just start,
Absolutely.
you know, they'll
Absolutely,
jump
yes.
they'll jump down your throat. But he probably had some weird interaction with her just because, you know, he didn't really like. He's not great with people. That's all.
that's
It's
it.
not
You
great
say it enough there. Yeah, yeah. Actually, I excuse me. We didn't talk to her on the show, guys. We talked to her on DMs. She did talk to me on DMs, not on the show yet. Taco Jet was not interested in coming on the show, but she did share the story. So thanks so much for that. So in this episode, though, you call him Snitchinator. I would like to know, do you remember anything that DSP snitched about? Because we have the picture here that he was called Snitch, and we found
Why
some
did I
things
call
about
him a snitch all the time? I don't remember why. But
everyone
I
was
was
calling him
like
Snitch.
real mad about it.
yeah. Everyone's pissed. Yeah, but
Everyone did it.
Yeah. It was a snitch. I think it was about a thread, something about a thread that he wanted to get someone banned from from the fucking SRK, but it didn't happen.
Oh,
or
that
whatever.
sounds right.
Yeah,
That would
but-
definitely be right.
Okay. Just a small thing though, but DSP is a snitch, and that was the Snitchinator was born then. My next trip down memory lane, I'm going to take you to Winter Brawl 5, if you don't mind.
All right.
And this is from 2011. I do want to show you your first appearance in this little intro package here, and it's very heavily features our boy Ski Sonic here. So let's see. I want to know why this was put in. So, because some people might say it's because some gentleman on the right was looking very strange while you were just talking normally, or were you saying some real deep shit here? Because here we go.
viewers right now.
Not yet.
Really,
Right
really
here.
early on in the life of the game. Everybody's kind of making these preemptive jumps. If you will, thinking their opinion is way more valid than it is, because it's not. You don't know because you just started playing the game. You suck.
So you're pretty fired up here. Is that because is that why we're showing this clip, or was it because DSP is looking like an alien on the right side? I wasn't sure.
Is that actually DSP?
Yes, it is. It's on the right.
Wow, he does not look good.
Here. So I wanted to ask you: are you saying some like cool shit here? That's why they have it up, or what? Like I'm not sure. I think I don't know why this was included. If you're not saying some like left legendary commentary right now, but it doesn't sound like you are.
I'm the fucking man.
Oh, okay, they want to make sure Ski Sonic's here. Ski Sonic was here, motherfuckers. That makes sense then.
The thing that I remember for this tournament, I don't know if you've seen the clip where I tell them like to stop talking over me.
We got it queued up, my friend. Don't worry.
All right.
Hey,
All right,
yeah.
okay. So I won't jump ahead.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. We got it queued. Also, there's a fight here apparently.
Yes.
We had a crazy
This
fight
is
about
great.
5 minutes ago.
So there was a fight.
Some crazy
It happened
woman
at this
over
Winter
the
Brawl
action.
5.
Some weave was torn out of some heads. It's 3 a.m. Everyone's trying to sleep, and everyone's not awake. No one's sleeping tonight. Let's face it.
Yeah.
So was that from the people in the tournament, or was it not associated? It says on
No,
the
man,
the
those are
video.
just some random women. I'm pretty sure some random Philadelphia ladies.
Okay.
But that hotel, man, is legendary because you see how it's set up, where the rooms are all in kind of like a circle, so you
Yeah.
can just step out and you can see all of what's going on. So it was just like some Thunderdome shit or something where everybody's just like, I get it. It was wild. That's one of the like most memorable nights of fighting game tournaments for me, because like like the guy said, the weave was ripped off. We went and got the weave later on. Or like waving the weave around. Like, yeah.
Damn.
It was nuts. It was nuts.
Awesome. So yeah, obviously I do have to play a very famous clip around here. So let's get it loaded up here. This is Ski Sonic and DSP on commentary. And we're gonna play it now. Not here. Right here.
Tricky trick there.
Cross up on Wolverine!
Teleported immediately as he activated X Factor, and the flash is what caught Justin off guard.
Goes for another cross up. This would be giant damage on the Kuma.
Justin Wong trying to
You can
spend
see
a
I'm
little bit of
already
time on
getting
that
mad.
X Factor
Yeah.
meter. Now he's got a clean shot at Phoenix. If he can hit her once, she is done.
Oh, her health is depleting. She's going red.
He's gonna look for a random beam super any moment.
Here we go. Oh,
This is the long
Phoenix
version.
almost
Hold on.
done.
Thrown. too far for the combo off of the air grab, and there's Justin with a random super.
Nice tag into Dante right there.
Got some damage on Dante rather than Phoenix, but now Justin still.
Oh, here
by
comes
Dark
Phoenix.
Good snap right there. Butter Dark Phoenix when she lost.
Oh my God! So much damage.
Yeah, we're almost there.
That's it. Justin has no health. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. That was Ski Sonic current year doing that. Yeah. Oh, let's hear the line right here. We got to hear it.
You gotta stop talking over me. You gotta listen to me because I'm not talking over you. Don't talk over me.
Okay.
I'm serious. It sounds horrible.
Okay. So we got it. I mean, obviously, okay, I am not nowhere close to Ski Sonic level of commentator, but I commentated myself at TwitchCon once, and I know when you're dealing with someone that doesn't understand the dance that commentators have to do, where it goes back and forth and everyone has a job, it's extremely frustrating. So I get it. But can you please tell us about that moment and what led to you saying that at that point?
Yeah, like I'm one of the few serious commentators in fighting games at this time, and I had these experiences in the past where, you know, people come at me or whoever for talking over people, but like not taking it personally, but like listening back to the tape, you know, it doesn't sound good. And like it had been a thing, you know, it's like that match, you could kind of feel it bubbling over, like I was saying, but it wasn't really like the first time, you know? And I was just concerned for the broadcast. And I think DSP was like, you know, sort of popular at the time. So they just like threw him on commentary. And I could say now in retrospect that like a couple of those times it's okay, but like it's just there's no modulation and it's like he's not listening, right?
Yes.
Like the things that he's saying, some of them are fine, right? But like just like the dance is like you said, you know, like work with me here instead of like me having to like try to work around you. And I don't know, I thought I was real nice about it, but I was trying to like get the point across real quick while we had time. Like, yo, like let's just like get this right. And I think after that he really clammed up and like of course like fucking said that I like fucking spit down his throat about it or something, because every time anything ever happens with anybody, he fucking turns it into you know, 1,000,000% of what it was. But that's basically what it was. It's just like, man, like I don't want this to sound bad, and I know that this is gonna sound bad, so like can we please get this under wraps?
So and I want to say like this is 2011 when it happened. And I believe this is when DSP is starting to get popular because of his Street Fighter videos only at this point, just posting Street Fighter videos. And in combination with the fact that, okay, there's this thing called 09ers, right? And if I say, I know you know what that means, but just so people that are not clear of that, 09ers are new players that joined the Street Fighter scene in 2009, correct?
Yep, because of Street Fighter 4 explosion.
So for me, I think this is when DSP blew up, but he didn't blow up with you guys, the guys that were there for a while. He blew up with those newer people, right? Is that fair to say? And then
No, we already didn't like him, so
but so the 09ers though are like, okay, this guy's cool. He's posting videos more than anyone fucking else because he was. But you know, maybe it wasn't like he. As you can see, I'm going to stop talking and just bring up some points that lead me to that conclusion. So this is the Winter Brawl 5 results thread. And I want to show a little bit, just a few posts here that are kind of interesting that have to do with that exact moment. Really nice job on the stream. Stream Spooky. That's Team Spooky. Still going now, by the way. Still going now. And he says, also, DSP is the lesser of two evils. It was a nice change of pace to get some different people on the stream for once. So not glowing review of DSP, but just saying like it was nice to have different people. And then Joe the Condor says, did anyone else hear Ski Sonic and DSP argue over the fact that DSP didn't sound good on the mic? That's not cool. I thought DSP was great. And you know, there's a few back and forths about this, right? But pretty much everyone defending them is these newer people, right? And some people, you know, while this person says here, well, I'm not a fan of DSP YouTube page. I will agree that some of the unprofessional shit by Ski, which is just funny, because what are you supposed to do? And it's not like nowadays when you can just mute him out, right? And some people said, I agree with this man. When Phil did cutting him off, I honestly see why Ski got frustrated. He handled the situation totally wrong. It was extremely unprofessional. So someone believes that you should say sorry, but then people bring it up the right way. From what I can tell, Ski tried to say it off mic, which you did, by the way, I don't know. You probably don't remember exactly the moves you made, but you definitely went off the mic.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, to say it. You can still hear it, of course, but
Yep.
and DSP's commentary was, "Oh, here comes the Phoenix. Oh my God, so much damage. That's it. Justin, no help." That was pretty funny. Then we get a few people sticking up for DSP. This one is kind of funny, so it's a little interesting. How could you tell that you went over the mic? Because it wasn't as loud as him talking on the mic normally. Duh. And then, and then this person says, real quick, I'm going to bring it up here. He says, I have it right here. 1921. This person says, I don't care either way. Oh, fuck, where is it? Hold on. 13. I'll get it. Hang on, guys. Hang on. I'm trying to go here. 21. Right here. Yeah, so either way, it seemed that Ski was trying to keep it off mic, but either lowering his voice or moving away from it. I don't see what your point is, man. I wish there was some recorded video of the exchange. Someone found the video. This person's trying to defend him, blah, blah, blah. This person, Snivy, ends up saying that I'm not a fan of DSP. Right? I don't even know who this DSP guy is before the stream, and he was supposed to be pretty successful to have such dedicated haters. So now if you say anything against DSP, you're a hater. This person right next finds that Snivy is subscribed to DSP and, leaves comments on his video. The link is dead now. But so it's just like, there's a weird fan base that's building for DSP at this time, right? It seems like it.
Makes sense.
Is that from, I imagine that's from the 09ers, but were you guys all, just out of it with DSP? Did you guys watch his videos? I mean, I'm going to talk for you, see Sonic yourself. Did you think there was anything good to have from DSP sharing it? Did you guys think
nobody's ever been interested in any of Darkseidfield content. Nobody. Nobody.
I mean,
I'm not joking. Like, to this day, I watch it sometimes. Like, okay, I literally never watch it until like the last couple of years when people link his rage montages or whatever.
Yes.
And sometimes I watch those, and they're out of this world. This motherfucker thinks rollback netcode is bad. Have you seen this motherfucker?
That's on the docket as well. All
right, cool. Not gonna jump ahead again, but yeah. So no person that was going to tournaments, right? The distinction between people at this time is do you travel to tournaments? Have you gone, right? And now everybody, the community is a little more inclusive. At that time, there wasn't even a term FGC. That only existed to delineate ourselves from esports, right? Once there was a larger presence around us, then our scene got more of an identity in that way. But regular fighting game goer, tournament goers, had absolutely no interest in him because they already knew who he was. They knew that he wasn't good. This is probably after he did the fourth place at Evo for Arcade Edition. So that was another part of it where he was tongue-in-cheek, let's say, saying the best American placer in Super Turbo in Evo in the year 2007 or whatever, right? But it was nobody took that game seriously whatsoever. He was just playing Vega and doing the Yule Ball shit. So that was his best claim to fame at that point. I think prior to that, I don't know if he had one, but he kind of used that and parlayed it into being a popular Street Fighter figure, but only to people that didn't know what all that meant.
Okay, thank you for that. That's what I was theorizing, because it seems like he never, all these shit we show from these threads, he never gets support from you guys and other people like you, where it could be NKI, it could be the Jaguar, FC Jaguar, or these people, FM Jaguar, excuse me,
FM Jaguar. Yeah.
It's all these people that are well thought out points, but they're never on DSP's side. But then when you do find someone on DSP's side, they're new to the scene, and it's was something I was wondering about. So thanks for that. You did mention though the Cannon Brothers nonsense. So I want to first get your take on
thanks for the
rollback netcode from DSP in 2020. Okay, so we're gonna hear real quick DSP talk about rollback netcode in 2020 just to get us started on this concept. Okay, so here's a little minute later.
Example personally that happened to me. There was a time in the 2000s when the Cannon Brothers, at this point I believe it was Tom Cannon, who was the coder of the brothers. He was the one who was writing GGPO netcode. Okay,
so I'll stop right there. GGPO netcode, when it came out, was insanely awesome for you guys, right?
it was fucking amazing. It was revolutionary. It was one of the best things that has ever happened.
Yeah, so I just want to make sure that's clear. Okay, so remember that, guys. Ski Sonic says, and everyone else in the fucking threads I'm going to show you thought it was awesome. Let's hear DSP's take.
He was pushing this heavily on the internet. People were able to use it for free to play games over the internet.
Pushing this heavily on the internet. So like making,
I don't know what that means.
making people use it. Fuck.
What does that even mean?
Come on, Tom. Don't do that. Yeah, right.
No.
Okay.
On their PC. Emulated versions of these games. And he was trying to basically perfect this netcode so he could sell it to game companies.
All right, I'm going to stop right there for some confirmation. I've been told that, of course, afterwards, the Cannon brothers might have been compensated for that, but at the beginning, it was totally open source, and they didn't get. Did they get any paid for that at all?
No. There was no payment, but I mean, I won't say that he's like technically wrong in what he was saying, and the goal was to sell it. But this is the corrosiveness of people that speak in fucking vagaries, right? Yes. Of course, he wanted to sell it. Because he wanted to improve fighting game netcode for everybody that fucking play fighting games online. That's why, right?
Yeah.
You can't just give it to a company. The company doesn't. That's not how shit works. Like a company's not going to take you seriously, right? But realistically, he sold this at a very low cost. He wasn't trying to sell this to make money. Like, to be 100% clear, his goal was to sell it to improve this, and he was like always going to work with any like licensing people to like give them a reasonable cost, which is why eventually when you did start to see DGPO in games, you've seen it in games like from I think the first professional game was Dragon Ball Xenoverse, it was like a Namco arcade Japanese game, but you would see it on like even the smallest indie project, right? Because they are willing to negotiate that to just get you the net code for your game. So that's really like what that statement means. But you know, when you just say it like that, he's kind of like building this narrative to support his fucking bullshit, like this doesn't work ideology or whatever he's gonna say.
Yeah, let's go.
He wanted to sell it to Capcom. He wanted to sell it to Bandai Namco. He wanted to sell it to all the fighting game companies and basically make tons of money because he felt his netcode was the best. What they did is
So that's another thing. He felt his netcode was the best. I'm going to show you some threads, guys. Everyone thought his netcodes were the best, but let's keep
set
going.
up on Shoryuken.com a giant section of information where people would relay their experiences with GGPO, and they encouraged people to go there and tell their experiences about GGPO netcode. 99%
I have that thread. We'll get there.
9% of the people who posted positive things. And I said, how could this be possible? No one had a bad experience with this netcode. So I played it, and I was like, wait a minute. There's big problems with this netcode. The rollback is bad. There's a lot of dropped inputs, right? Now you're thinking, oh, this is what they want. They want positive feedback, right? They want real concrete positive feedback.
So real quick, I guess we want to remember his gripes with it were rollback, I think, was one. Let me hear again.
He just said the rollbacks are bad, and there were a lot of dropped inputs.
Okay, thank you.
So I played it, and I was like, wait a minute. There's big problems with this netcode. The rollback
Why is it
is
so
bad.
choppy?
Rollback is bad.
I don't get it.
Inputs,
Dropped
right?
inputs.
Now
Why
you're
is-
thinking, oh,
why is everything
this
else
what they want.
smooth,
They
but the
want
desktop
positive
capture
feedback,
isn't?
right? They want real concrete positive feedback. All right.
All right, speeding him up a little bit.
So I posted feedback that was constructive. I said, there's some really good things about this netcode because it doesn't play in slow-mo like other netcode. Other netcode at the time, if you tried to play fighting game online, it would be like molasses. You're playing underwater with lag.
Yeah,
with GGPO, it would always seem to run at the right speed, but there was the rollback netcode where something would happen, it would skip backwards. And then also there was a lot of dropped inputs. You would do a move and nothing would happen, or the input wouldn't come out at all. I posted that, they deleted
Okay, so I'm not asking you to be an expert on rollback netcode, even though you might be. That is fundamentally not what rollback netcode is supposed to do, right? Doesn't drop inputs, correct?
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Yeah, the whole point of it is to not drop inputs and to guess your input. When it sees you did something different, show that on the screen instead of what it was showing before, which was its best guess, which was your last input, correct?
I don't think it does that, but that's something that a lot of people have thought that it does, and I've tried to that's specifically the anticipation of what you're doing. I don't want to speak out of my turn technically on that.
Yeah.
It may or may not do that, but I think I think it's basically just holding your last input rather than trying to anticipate.
Yeah.
But I know that there's been a lot of improvements on GPO since then, so
Yeah.
so that might be one of the features.
Okay, yeah. Because now, DSP will tell you that it guesses at your input by basically rolling a dice and then just saying, oh, you didn't do that, oops, and then it does whatever you want. So
That's
let's get
fucking ridiculous.
Well,
Stupid.
Let's get another take of, now we're going to move forward a year and get another take on rollback netcode, which I think is worth it. Big ups, by the way, to On Paper and Down 4 Punch. You guys are fucking legends, but let's go.
Or actual visible jumping around of the graphics.
Okay, so here we go.
Dropping your
This is the bad
netcode.
parts.
Strongly recommend you check them out because that was a lot of fun. Learning those characters, some cool combos,
Here we go.
strategies. It was really fun. But at the same time, I'll be honest, I was frustrated with the fucking netcode because the game drops a ton of frames. Whether it's dropping your inputs so your moves just don't come out, or dropping your block input so you stop blocking out of nowhere, or actual visible jumping around of the graphics because the netcode is called rollback netcode, which is
So rollback netcode, here we go.
supposed to avoid showing the game slow down and look laggy. Instead, it jumps around everywhere, which is just as bad. So
What do you think about that statement? It jumps around everywhere.
I mean, maybe his computer was fucking garbage or something, right? Like, it is more taxing on your computer, but it's just obvious that, like, people didn't have this experience. Nobody has this experience. Of course, rollback is by definition, right? Like, you know what it is, but
Yeah.
when you play it, it makes perfect sense, and it doesn't disrupt what you're doing unless it's, like, real bad, unless you have, like, a bad connection, a bad computer, whatever, right? Because it does what it's doing is it's running like multiple copies of the game,
Yeah.
so it is more intensive on your computer. But I mean, when those first proof of concept betas came out, because that's what it was, he had us as people playing it like as a proof of concept so he could later market it or whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody had amazing experiences, right? Like those first nights of Super Turbo and Vampire Savior, those are fucking legendary, man. Legendary.
That's awesome. I mean, that's what thanks for clearing that up. Let's hear a little bit more, and then I'll get to the thread
better than
here.
any other online fighting game that I've ever played before. It's just as laggy as the others. It's just a different kind of lag, a different kind of issue.
Oh my god.
And it pisses me off because I'm playing the game. Every time I've played Street Fighter V now, I've enjoyed it because I'm like, wow, I like the fundamentals of this game. I'm getting into it. I'm learning more about it. This is a fun game. And then I play it online and wow, well, so I'm just getting destroyed because I can't tell what's hitting me because it's skipping frames of animation. I swear I was blocking it. I get hit by that super randomly and is it a throw? I don't know. It's frustrating. So it's a combination of enjoyment and frustration.
Okay, let's go to that. We got he's blaming rollback netcode for jumping around so much he can't tell what he's blocking. All this nonsense. So there we go. Sound good. Here, I think there's one more. This is super fast.
It went back, it went forward. I call it the YouTube rollback.
Here we go.
It's
Yeah,
kind of like rollback netcode. You know netcode when you play fighting games, you're playing and you hit a guy, you do a combo, then all of a sudden the netcode says, "Oh no, that was false." It takes the whole combo back, and the guy gets all his energy back.
That never fucking happens.
That's what I wanted to show you.
That never happens, dog. Like, what is he playing on? He would have to be playing on a fucking potato.
He's
right?
playing on console. That's all he plays on his consoles.
Then he's lying, and you know he's lying because you can watch him stream and you can see it. That's why his fan base is people that are not good, because it's obvious when you watch him complain about things that none of it makes sense. It's very clear.
Thank you.
That code says, "Oh no, that was false." Takes the whole combo back, and the guy gets all his energy back. That's what I feel like it is on YouTube. You work.
All right, we're not here about YouTube. All right, so let's get rid of that one. Last one here.
These instances in the past 2 days. In one case, I was playing this guy who was doing constant rushdown. No surprise there. That's the entirety of the game. And as he's doing constant rushdown, half of the frames of animation of his attacks aren't even coming out. It's just showing a neutral animation for the attacker. Yet you can see those effects from hits going out on the screen. So literally no attack animations, but the hits are counting anyway. Now, the other flip side of this, the bad one, is if I dashed up, I did low Thanos, which is a
fuck it,
two-hit.
let's skip that one. Anyways, let's get to, so I want to show that this exact thread he was talking about. A lot of people wanted to see this thread because this is the thread that he said, you heard him say how there was a thread they set up and everyone's saying positive stuff, but when I said negative stuff, it was bad. So I just wanted to get that out here so we can see exactly what he's talking about. Yeah, so this one is someone has just to start it out. Someone said DSP and company. This is what this guy's saying. That's what I thought. Just DSP and company fucking up the motions and blaming it on the game. Sorry about that one. So this is already someone saying it's just Phil being not a good player. That's what his complaints are. Let's get to one more. So this is DSP's first time. Okay, so this is the first mention of rollback. We're talking July of 2008. He says, this is the first game. This is the first game where I've ever heard the term rollback, as in the game takes back things happening on your screen. I'm sorry, but that just makes zero sense to me. And I think now we're seeing why he hates rollback netcode so much, because he can't understand it. But let's keep going. If a game is running in slow-mo, at least I expect the game to be worthless and mean nothing. But to have things going backwards in time while I perform moves, bullshit. So he thinks things are going backwards in time. Let's keep going. You know I'm the resident hater, but I'm trying to be honest. This ridiculous slowdown at least made me accept how shitty the net play on AE was. This game has great netcode for the most part, then fools you into thinking you have great game with anyone. Then it becomes a terrible Back to the Future remake, and you wish you never played at all. Your thoughts, Skisonic, on that statement? It's like playing a terrible Back to the Future remake.
I mean, look, man, it's just like, I feel like his experience, maybe he just has the worst internet. Maybe he was playing on Wi-Fi, or more than likely he's just fucking overreacting to everything and just finding something to complain about. You see players of this ilk all the time, all over the place, just find something to blame whatever they're upset about on, and they just roll with it. And he has nobody there that's critical, or nobody there that he listens to, nobody there that he respects, whatever, to tell him, like, dog, you're fucking wrong, right? And that's the reason why he's never been any good at fighting games, probably because he's like not willing to lower himself and take constructive criticism and realize that like you can grow that way. And so it's just fucking par for the course, you know. He's still saying this shit about Street Fighter 6 to this day, like he can't do a damn Blanca ball, and he's like, the game ate my inputs. It's like, no, it didn't. It didn't. We all know this. So yeah, it's any person that's like a real fighting game person, any person that's traveled to a tournament or whatever.
Interesting. Red Animator linked me to something over on the Discord. Capcom released a patch for Street Fighter 6 about negative edge. I'm not sure what this means, since I'm not like a fighting game person, but it says it is now possible to change the button release input on/off in the controller settings. But guaranteed DSP is going to talk about this, and it's not like he's going to help you figure out what it means. Who knows what he's going to say about it, but he's definitely going to say something about it.
You look at 10 minutes of his videos and you can't help but like laugh.
Yeah. So okay. So that when those videos came out in the beginning, right? 2009 is everyone was hungry for fucking videos, right? Like it was like a very, very hungry market to watch video of your favorite game being played, because this is before YouTube was popping off like it is now, and you could see everybody play. This was way before that, right? Like in 2009 videos, you know?
What were we watching videos on? I feel like just this, I think the scene just hadn't really been developed yet. You know, like people didn't have capture cards. There were like 3 years where people would just, you know, oh, AverMedia. Remember AverMedia Gamer B, right? So that was the influx of like capture cards and things to the scene.
Yeah.
So there were people that did videos, but it was mainly just them, right? Like it wasn't like anybody is able to just like upload their footage like it is now. So I would say like that's the main difference. So anybody who was dedicated and like putting up videos, you could certainly find an audience.
Okay. So that we get there. I want to get a few responses here, because obviously Bruce LB says, "Man, what the fuck are you talking about? The first game you've ever seen it? Seriously? Did you never play Diablo 2, Counter-Strike, or any other game online? Because it is every other game lags up shit, goes back in time. It's just the way netcode works. Fighting games have been late using this type of netcode for whatever reason, but overall, even the rollback is much better." Everyone agrees with everyone agrees it's awesome. We can say. Everyone fucking thinks it's awesome. So I want to make that clear that like it's just, he is literally the only person that has a problem with it. DSP chimes in here. says, responds to that person. I said, are you retarded? We're talking about fighting games, not old PC games. FPS games have been doing rollback for ages. Blah, 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 blah. I personally dislike rollback because it cheats good players.
I mean, there's not a good player that says that, right? Like, every good player says literally the opposite. Every good player wants to play on rollback. So what does that say?
Real quick, let's explain it. Let's see his explanation for why it cheats good players. You could do a perfect reversal, see it hit on the screen, then 1 second later be down 50% life for no apparent reason. All the while, it's unbeknownst to you until it happens.
Yeah, like I said, he will exaggerate something to the millionth percent when he doesn't like it. So, I mean, yeah, like, oh, 1 second later, what the fuck happened, right? Like,
yep.
It's never that drastic, and if it is, something's wrong, right? Like, you're playing with large rollback because you're playing somebody that's either too far, you're playing with real bad internet, or whatever.
Yeah. So GGPO takes Same Neko, which is why everyone else is applauding it. I was just like, give me a break. How come people take GGPO seriously when every time there's a clutch situation, the inputs drop and you can't get that reversal super counter that is needed?
See, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. It preserves your inputs. The opposite.
Thank you. Blah, blah, blah. Still, we seem a long ways off from perfecting net play for fighting games. So I know it's been improved by now, but guys, just a spoiler. Rollback netcode is still used in 2023, but Phil said we're a long ways off, and we're still using the base of the same system that he's bitching about right now in 2008. Real quick, a few more things here. The clapback 2 DSP from Fallout says, if you perform a perfect reversal, any rollback will be in your favor, just like Ski Sonic said. It doesn't warp back in time as much as it compensates for what happens on both sides. Rollback is far superior to input delay. Play a while on GGPO. It demonstrates it excellently. And it is pretty funny. People say GGPO doesn't drop inputs. Dipshit. That's directed at Phil. Seriously, DSP, you have no fucking clue what you're talking about. Go away.
Bro, you gotta link me this thread. I need this in my life.
So Hanaki says, DSP, because you're a big baby, here's how rollback actually works. Zangief does see. I'm gonna need.
Oh, is that Hanaki?
That's Hanaki. Yep.
Hanaki is a game dev.
So
he is a game developer.
Who do you want to believe, guys? Game developer or, anything that happened pre-rollback is on the assumption that happened 2 frames ago. If your opponent was holding the same buttons he was, post-rollback is what actually happened. Every input is recorded unless there is actual lag. And that was from 190.
Sadly, I can't do the VTuber avatars with the alternate setup, but I can load it up in the capture device setup, and well, I can't do like throw things. Hold on.
98. We're gonna keep going on here. We have a clapback. Lazy Foo says, "Are you retarded?" Was the question from Darkside Phil. I wouldn't choose to use that word in 2023. I'm reading as I see him, but I know it's different time.
What was his
Lazy
response?
Foo says he's not. You can read into those italics all you want. The inputs aren't dropped as already explained. Correct. Saying rollback drops inputs is like complaining a super doesn't come out because you're being comboed. If you're expecting 100% perfect, lagless, latency-free fighting games with anyone on the planet, you better start rewriting the internet so everyone has Ethernet cable plugged into your house.
Facts.
Blah, blah, blah. Brilliant. Nothing to say there. It does not stop, but here comes DSP to D204. He says, you can't read. I wasn't talking about rollback when I was talking about GGPO. On GGPO, you can press buttons and have nothing come out repeatedly, especially when it's a clutch situation where you need that perfect timing to do a reversal. Nothing happens. Sorry, but I know how to do reversals.
Watch him today, and you'll see he doesn't still.
And yes, he is retarded. Thanks for clearing that up. And then, of course, when everyone doesn't respond favorably, what happens? Wow, you guys sure do love your GGPO. You swear that no inputs ever get dropped. Interesting. So why does everyone on GGPO say that it's just for practice, not serious? Ski Sonic, what do you think that means?
Bro, like, it's fucking online. Nobody, like, what are you talking about? People say that it's not serious because it's online, especially in, what is this, 09 or whatever?
Yes.
Nobody took online play with any veracity. There were no real online tournaments like there are now. So yeah, like, just, that's really like has always been a refrain of the FGC. It's just online and doesn't count, see me in real life.
Yeah. That's kind of a way, like, if you lose, it's like, if you lose online, you can say, like, well, I get you on the cabinet, that kind of thing,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Didn't
So
count.
that makes sense, yeah. All right, so let's go to 208. Again, people responding, just like you said, GGPO doesn't drop inputs anymore. That has been fixed for quite a few versions. Seriously, stop embarrassing yourself with your uninformed bullshit. That was 208. I'm going to go to 211 here. Wow, you guys sure do love your GGPO. What does this person say, Sweet Johnny V? Yeah, it's great. Honestly, you're cheating yourself if you're only avoiding GGPO just because every once in a while there's a glitch. There's a lot of good times to be had on here. Audio CG says DSP seriously, man, online will most likely never be exactly the same as head-to-head. But we all want as good as they can get. Do you know why? I, for one, can only play because person supporting the rollback as well. Lazy Foo again. GGPO doesn't drop packets. It's UDP and the network itself. Blah, 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 blah. GGPO managed to allow fighting games to be playable at 100 ping. Counter-Strike players would kill that type of latency compensation. It's the best out there. Managed to do so without slowdown. Everyone, as you can see, guys, I'm about to show you the post, but everyone is in support of rollback netcode 100%.
Unanimously.
Yes, it's not even close. And as you can see, the more and this person responds here.
David.
That just makes him hate it more.
He's not the retarded one here. I'm just reading it. Ultra David comes in, is talking about it as well. Let's go. Few more. 2018. So many threads here. This thread has 10,000 posts, so it's tough to navigate. This is a big one. Where am I at now? 185. Let's go down to 211 here. Sorry for the scrolling, everybody. We're trying to get to the gold. 218, 215, 218. I second that play. Where is it? Not that. 218. Well, I second that. Playing GGPO has been ridiculously awesome, especially with the staggering amount of utterly awesome players out there. I still can't believe I'm playing against the legendary old school pros that rock Evo year in and year out. Watch that games high fidelity, just pure unaltered awesomeness beyond my wildest dreams. This person really fucking likes it, dude. I mean, it's incredible.
That was everyone's experience, right? Like, it came out of nowhere. It was like the biggest gift to the FGC. Like, we're just freaking sitting there on IRC right now. I still talk to Leraldo to this day, by the way.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Like, it was just like this tremendous gift. Like, Leraldo's still playing GGPO, playing John Choi online, beating them in tournaments. That's what the freak GGPO does. But yeah, like, it's kind of a misnomer, right? Rollback, because there's no real rolling back. It's more of a correction.
Yeah.
And that sort of gives Phil the room to say, like, oh, it goes back in time. It's like, it actually is resolving what happened in the time, right?
Yeah,
it doesn't go
yeah.
back in time. It stays where it was, and it corrects what just happened. It was just like this just like utopian experience. I'm not lying. Like, it sounds like I'm overselling this, but to have, like, nobody was playing fighting games online at that time. I think it was just like, a couple of games, like CVS2 had it on X.
Oh crap! I think I know what the issue is. For some reason, it's not using NVIC as an encoder. You know what? Give me a second. Let me pause the stream again. Let me interrupt the stream for a little bit, and then I'll load it up with the correct encoder again. Hopefully, we can get rid of this this choppiness with the display capture. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to set this up with the alternate setup, trying to make it better. Bear with me, please. Okay. Let me interrupt a little bit.